Hey guys, it's Ben. We're going to go over the cameras and tripods that we use for OwlSports Update. We have these tripods here. We got the camera in the bag. We're going to go over what we use and how to use it. Let's say you go into the studio. You would say you want to check out a camera. You'll get one of these bags. So here we have the Sony PXW X70. That's the camera that you're going to be using. We'll go over that in a second. You will also have a mic flag. You want to use the OwlSports mic flag, obviously, because this is OwlSports Update. You'll also get a battery. Usually you'll get 2 batteries, and then you'll also get a battery charger, so that if you're covering an event and you need to charge a battery, or even want to switch out the camera with another crew, you can do that and have them be fully ready charged. You'll also get a microphone, which is in here. And remember, when you return all these things, you always want to return it the way you found it. So here you can see the cable is nicely coiled up. Yeah, this is what you'll use for your audio. Hopefully you know that by now. So let's go over the camera real quick. But in order to use the camera, we need to know how to use a tripod. So here's what we have. We got the tripod here. How do you set it up? You just have these wheels on the bottom of them. You just want to wheel them out. It's pretty simple. Should have like music to this.
Like controller. Controller, yeah, like controller.
Once the legs are all out, you just want to do some fine adjustments, but it should be pretty easy to set up. So this is the head of your tripod, and on the head you have a little plate. You want to take that out, and this is what's going to go on your camera itself. Got the camera here, got the plate. Usually on the plate, sometimes it'll say lens and then an arrow pointing to where the lens should be. Sometimes it's not there. And if it's not there, you can usually just slide it on whichever way works best. So you got a silver, what's this called?
Knob.
So you got a silver knob right here. That's where you want to put the screw in. Turn the screw, righty, tighty. All right, so that's on. Slide it right on the tripod head. You'll hear a click, and then you want to turn this all the way so it's nice and tight. Wow, we don't have a battery. We should probably put a battery on that camera. So I'm going to reach into my bag, put this battery in. This side, of course, facing up because there's the little spikes in there. And it's in, ready to be used. All right, so we got the camera on the tripod. Let's open up the camera and see how to work this baby. All right, so we open it up. It should turn on automatically. If it doesn't, you have this power switch right here. All you do is hold it in. This is also the button that you'll use to turn it off as well. So like I said, hold it in, it's off, and now we'll turn it back on. So let's just go over the main parts of the camera real quick. So we have the LCD screen right here. We have different settings to adjust the iris, the shutter speed, the gain as well. We also have white balance, display.
It's here.
The display and things of that nature. Up here, this is what you really want to look at in terms of audio. You have your different settings to control what input is coming into, or what inputs are being recorded, what you want to feed in, what you want to feed out. And let me just flip this over really quick. So as you can see, input 1 right now, this is on the boom mic. Input 2, there's no camera or mic plugged in. So usually what you'll end up doing is taking your dynamic mic and plugging it in right there. So as you flip it around, right now we can see that input 1 is also channel 1, and I can adjust it right here because it is on manual. And these right now, the settings that are there right now, the way you usually get your camera is how it should be set up. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that this switch over here is in the down position. All that's doing is taking your left and right channels, and it's taking the channel 1 and channel 2 and feeding them into those respectively. You always want to make sure you have manual set for both your channel 1 and channel 2. So what that means is you need to make sure you have headphones in order to ensure that you have good audio levels. And you'll be able to tell on your monitor, on your LCD screen, different levels right there. Every camera bag has one of these. This basically just goes over all the audio settings, just so you know how to use the audio settings on the camera. This is there just for you. All right, so here you have all the settings for iris, gain, shutter. You got your filters on the back right here. Especially, this is really good if you're, let's say, at a field hockey game or something, the sun's really shining. You want to make sure your filters are covered in order for the lens not to be screwed up or anything. Iris and gain and shutter, that's all right there, and you'll use this wheel to adjust all those things. All you do is hit each individual setting, and then you'll adjust the wheel right after that. And most importantly, you want to record what you're shooting. How do you do that? Red button right here. There's also another button that's on the top. It's really up to you which one you want to use, but you just want to make sure you're always recording your stuff. Very important also, make sure you test your gear. When you're out in the field, you don't want to call the studio and say that your gear's not working. You're always responsible to make sure that your gear's working. So after you check it out, test it out in the studio, and then if there's any problems, you can address those as you go. If you do happen to experience any problems when you're out in the field, make sure you address those when you return your gear on time to one of the studio workers.
I'm Ben Ott, out.
I'm Ben Ott. I'll talk to you later.